I've got some really good news. We have been waiting for a long time for a shipment of our new game for the Sega Dreamcast called Choo Choo Mimic. We agreed to publish it at the start of the year, and there's been delays and issues with different providers, but this box next to me contains 500 units of Choo Choo Mimic. I have no idea if they're good quality, I don't know if they've done a good job, so I thought it'd be cool to do an honest unboxing video and show you guys the quality, test the discs in a real Dreamcast. We'll get a look at all the data on the discs to make sure that they've been created correctly. Either way, this video is getting posted, so even if they are rubbish, you'll get to see the reality of what's here. I'm hopeful, I'm excited, I'm a little bit nervous, because if these don't work, I'm going to have to go and find another provider. We did receive a bad batch of Choo Choo Mimics, and I'll be giving those discs away for free for anyone who wants them. They look kind of cool and they do have working soundtracks, they just don't boot the game. So if you guys want a free soundtrack disc with a cool graphic of Choo Choo Mimic, just get in touch and we'll fire those over to you for free. But without further ado, I'm gonna get this thing open and let's see what we have here. Here we go, Choo Choo Mimic. I don't know if you'll be able to see that there. That might actually just be some movement in transit. The second disc that I pulled out, there is still a slight gap on the right there, but it isn't nearly as noticeable. This is the one that has the big gap along the side. I'm going to use this as my sacrificial copy to open and see if the disc works. Let's open this up. Okay, there we go. The colour of the disc and of the back of the manual, they're really nice, very rich blue colour. That's come through really well. Something we wanted to do is put the Mimic on the inlay behind the disc. So if I take the disc off, you've got a little Mimic there. He looks really cool. I think that came out well. Hold that up so you can see the print quality. I'd say I'm pretty happy with that. There's a slight alignment issue. But you only notice it if you are holding the disc up to an actual light. You can see that the black pillar in the middle doesn't go all the way up to cover the white section that you can see on the back of the disc. If you don't hold it up to a light source, it's completely unnoticeable. I should say I am a perfectionist with these things, so any little problem I will notice. This is a lot better than we had with our previous provider. I'll show you one of the discs that we got back from them. So here's a side by side. Now you might notice that the pillar in the middle is completely off. It's just away to one side, and I don't know how they made that mistake. The artwork I sent them was perfect, whereas with this one, it's lovely and centered. Looks a lot better. The color reproduction on the new discs is a lot better too. On the old disc, it looks a little bit washed out and it has a slightly kind of teal color. The new ones have this lovely rich blue, and that's been reproduced really nicely, so I'm very happy with that. Of course, the most important thing is, do the discs work in a Dreamcast? So even if the print quality is excellent, if the discs are duds, this hasn't been a success. Okay. Okay, we get the boot screen. Good. Orc face. Always takes a little second to load here. Just loading the NES ROM. Here we have it. Choo Choo Mimic. Excellent. That is a huge relief. It actually works. Yeah, we're definitely going to use this provider again. Very happy with this. Putting the disc into my PC, we can have a look at the data to make sure that everything's set up correctly. On that first session, we have all the audio tracks, and that means that if you put this in an audio CD player, you can actually listen to the soundtrack of the game. And then down here in session 2, you'll see we have track 6. That is the game itself. There's actually 3 different versions of the file system here. They're all actually the same thing, it's just that the way that the file names show up is slightly different. I usually go for the last one because it has capitals and white space. So here we have all of the files. You can see that there's the VMU image, so that on the VMU you can see the icon for Choo Choo Mimic. We have the Orcface Games splash screen that comes up when you first load the game. We have the palette for the NES emulator. We have the NES ROM. And then there's the emulator itself. Game.bin is the emulator file. The auto-ROM file is read by the emulator to tell it to read game.nes. And then we have the first read.bin, which of course is the first file that gets booted. And it's a small program that will load up the splash screen and then progress into the emulator. So yeah, everything on the disc is just as we expected. It's excellent. Just before we wrap up, let's get a look at the game's manual. So the print quality on the front is very good, very rich. I'm quite happy with that. It's an 8-page manual, so brought to you by Rigged Games, Low-Tech and Orcface. Yep, that all looks good, very clear. The controls are printed nicely. Again, very clear. I know there's a little bit of glare from my light here, but hopefully you can see this clearly enough. We have the instructions on how to play the game and some cool little graphics. Tells you about the different enemies and the credits for everyone who worked on both the original NES version of the game and the Dreamcast version that Orcface ported. So there we go. Good print quality, works successfully in the Dreamcast, and the manual looks good too. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I think it's time to get these out to you guys, to everyone who pre-ordered, and to anyone who is interested in the game. You can pick up your copy for £15 on the Orcface Games website. That's orcface.com. And let us know if you have any questions, any ideas for future games, future videos, or anything Orcface related. If you'd like to drop a like and subscribe, we would appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Orcface.